was really. You tell me when you want me to start.
So, first, many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
For our readers, and I have some questions for you on first. How did you started the sponsoring of these Innovation Lions? Why?
So we start. So obviously this is the second edition this year. So we've been founding partners. So we started last year. The reason is we feel that creativity combined with the power of data and innovation is a very rich combination. And this is basically what we're trying to do with our clients is bring innovation to them. At the same time, simplify the complex and to make it beautiful. So that's what we're trying to do. So hopefully this is an illustration.
Talking about beautiful, I think you have managed to illustrate that side of your work.
Thank you.
Very much and very good. Not only this year but also last year.
Yes.
With the lion, the social lion that
yes.
changed as the mood of the people here taking part at the festival was changing. So how did you get the idea for the previous year installation?
Yeah, so the idea is almost like it's a creative process. It's brainstorming discussions within the agency across a wide array of people, be it data people, analytics, creative, strategy people. But I like so. Thank you for the reference to the installation being beautiful. So last year we had MEC, and really it was art meets science on purpose, and the idea was to take data out of the screen, the computer screen, and make it live into a different space, and use innovation to bring data to people and the experience in a completely different way, hence the installation.
This year you are shaping the different creative DNAs,
yes.
And you are trying to match these DNAs out of the database of the winners of Cannes Lions with the creatives that are taking part in
yes.
the talk. How did you get to this idea?
So again, it was it was just like any creative process, it's slightly chaotic. So people throw a lot of ideas, but I guess at the end of the day, what made us retain the idea is the fact that it had data at its core. It had creativity, because what is more creative than all the Cannes work that has won over the last 13 years, and it had innovation. So we were really keen to explore that.
In both installation, algorithms were important.
Yes.
So to bring the result. And usually people think that an algorithm is something that is objective. What do you think about that? Do you really think that one algorithm or a combination of algorithms can bring an objective creative outcome, or is there subjectivity inside?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't know if I would position it like this, as in objective versus subjective. I think algorithms and analytics are there to understand the underlying value of the data. And in this case, what we've done is we've explored all the granular data behind all the wins at Cannes, and really tried to identify what were the common themes across all the various work, the various winners, and try and associate people to that so that they can recognize their kind of winning formula for creativity within the work that has been winning at Cannes over the last few years. So, is it subjective? Is it objective? I guess it depends on what people put into the installation, because it's very interactive. So, if you try, put in different inputs, you will have probably different answers. So then people are free to choose which one they feel is objective or subjective.
Perhaps I haven't not reasoned the question properly. because I think people working with data are supposed to try to bring the right creativity or the best creativity to be effective.
Yeah.
So, and there's some guidelines, objective guidelines inside the statistics, but one that usually manages statistics and work with them. Any mathematic can tell that maths are not completely objective. So even though if you have an algorithm or you have an equation, for example, you got some subjectivity inside because those are made by people and people put.
Yeah, I don't know if I would see it like that. I slightly disagree, I have to say.
So,
I think mathematics is right or wrong, and numbers and facts don't lie. So I think mathematics helps to a certain degree, but of course what's really important is what human beings make with that, and I think the interpretation of what algorithms produce is what might be introducing a bias of objectivity versus, subjectivity, I guess, in the story. I wouldn't say it's the algorithm that's necessarily biased or subjective. I think it's the interpretation that could be subjective.
Yeah. Well, you know that now is a little fight. I think in every country, even in Spain, between people from data and people from creativity.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Creatives say that the idea is the most important, and there are ideas that can't be explained by data, and that they work. And for example, to put an example, Dumb Ways to Die, this campaign.
Yeah.
So they usually put this example. And on the other side, they come the people from data like you, and they are saying that data bring accuracy and data bring some certain way to be right or do the right creativity. So I think I can guess your answer, but what do you think about this fight? Is a right fight, or should go creatives and people from data hand in hand in order to work?
I think it's a bit of a shame that there is a fight, as you said, between the data side and the creative side, because I think my view is data actually should be there to free creatives to do more advanced, better work. Data is nothing else than observations of what happens in life, of what consumers are doing, what they're thinking. So, any good creative should be interested in that data to learn as much as possible about the context, the consumers, the brands, the environment, and then they can make whatever they want with it. It's the creative process that, of course, is very, very important. But I don't think we should oppose one with the other. I don't think data limits creativity. On the opposite, I think it frees up creativity. It reveals new insights that we couldn't find quite easily before about consumers.
Mm-hmm. In which measure can, for example, cognitive computing bring a more dynamic use of the data into the creative way?
Yes.
In which measure? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think cognitive analytics is something of the future, and whether that's what Google are doing with DeepMind or IBM with Watson ads, I think is really interesting. In fact, we've partnered with IBM and produced some of the very, very first ads which are going to air in September for one of our clients. And I find this really fascinating. I actually was kind of using it yesterday, playing with it, and the fact that you can literally have a conversation with an ad and it directs, gives you information. It's like talking to an expert, but actually you're talking to a computer. You don't realize it.
So you are telling us that the cognitive computing can bring the conversation inside the ads.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. And I think that's one of the big trends of the future. I mean, some people call it conversational commerce, where it becomes a dialogue, a conversation between the consumer and a computer, fed with masses and masses of data, and enough intelligence, cognitive intelligence, that not only can bring the right answers to the consumer, but also learns from the process and improves over time. So we're only scratching the surface at the moment. We'll see in the next few years that it will certainly grow and grow to create more amazing experiences for consumers.
You've answered more or less to me the latest question I had to raise you, because I was asking you for new projects on this field. You have told that next ads you are going to air are based in cognitive computing, and there's a sort of conversation inside. Any other projects for the future you can unveil?
Well, we're always trying to connect data, and I think that's the next big thing we're really trying to do. So we have access to a lot of data now. There's oversupply of data. Technology has caught up. Cognitive algorithms are here now. So I think the next thing to do is really to use that data to the best effect for brands, and that means connecting it as much as we can to have a seamless picture of the worlds of brands and of consumers, and use that as much as possible to help our clients. I think that's the next big thing.
Can you tell about any more about this project for September? Airing these ads, the client, for example, who is going to do this experiment with you? And
so in this case our clients is Campbell's, so we're experimenting with them.
Campbell's.
And our partners are IBM, so we're really
I assume this is in the States.
Yes, it's in the States only at the moment, but I think these technologies will evolve very quickly and will become available and mainstream in a matter of 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
It's been a pleasure.